This close. We were this close of witnessing the first super over of IPL 2024. Wasn't to be a game of twists and turns. At one point, when it was the Kolkata Knight Riders batting and the total that they put, you thought that they were going to win. But then that partnership that Patidar, Will Jacks had in a situation that RCB had reached. In fact, 9 runs needed of the last 6 overs. 9 times out of 10, you're picking the batting team from there on. When the target is less than 50 and you need 9 and over for the remaining 6 overs, it's always 9 times out of 10, the batting team is going to win. But then you had some stunning overs. You saw towards the death, you saw the spinner, the mystery spinner,
Varun
Chakravarti coming up with an outstanding one. Mitch Starc was under pressure. Andre Russell bowling a brilliant over, the penultimate over, and the one before that, Harshit Rana. Eventually, as we've been seeing this season, a win wasn't to be for RCB. I have 2 KKR fans with me.
Who are fevered at this point.
I feel like I'm getting a fever.
Them one by one. Their thoughts.
Okay, I have, I was planning this, but I don't think any of us had planned for a match ending this thrilling. So, celebratory dance is for later on, you guys. Because I think now we've pretty much eliminated RCB, even almost mathematically they're done. But I know you've reached this close, 220, 1 run loss, it'll always sting. For the losing team, it's always going to sting. For neutrals, I think this was match of the IPL so far. No exaggerations. But if I have to point out where it is that RCB lost this game, and this is where I say, when you are chasing, it's not about going aggressive all out. You need to play the situation. Why do I say that? Because when Will Jacks and Rajat Patidar were going all guns blazing, okay, fine, both of them were going in the same mode, both got dismissed by Andre Russell in the very same over. Fine, no problem. Aggressive batters were batting aggressively. You'll say, fine, let's take it, continue playing that way, and let's try and get the match done quickly, put the game beyond all doubt before we get out. Then they got out. After that, and this is really where I say, I don't know whether to call it arrogance, I don't know whether to call it hubris, I don't know whether to call it stupidity, I don't know whether to call it a great combination of all three, but RCB did what RCB does best. They overestimated everything. Why? After that over of Russell's, it was the 11th over if my memory serves me right. After that,
12th over.
it was the 12th over. For the 13th over, KKR bring on Sunil Narine.
Yeah.
An absolute roll of the dice considering he only had 1 over left at that point. You knew that had to be an over to swing things. 13th over, if you'd played that out, you still had 7 overs at which the asking rate was under 10.
Yeah.
All you had to do was play the over out. But no, stupidity reigns. Cameron Green gets 1-6 and decides to take him on again. Holes out. Mahipal Lomror going for an absolute nothing shot. Dismissed. And after that, the pressure was on. In fact, I think all neutral fans should give a special shout out to Mitchell Starc because he made this game more thrilling than it had any right to be. 21 runs at the last over, 8 wickets down. You need to be walking that, boss. I don't care. But, funny things happen in the IPL and RCB now are going to look back at that and say, did we need to attack in that Sunil Narine over? With the benefit of hindsight, I remember, and we were all having discussions off camera and I said, stupid thing to do. With the benefit of hindsight, I can say with no uncertain doubt that it was the horriblest thing to do. But yeah, KKR, back to second.
Okay.
I'm still to catch my breath. At one point, honestly, I thought the match is done because Karan Sharma smashing Mitchell Starc for 3 sixes in an over. I thought it's a repeat of what Josh Butler did a few days back, and we just tossed the match. It was 3 required of 2. Then he took a brilliant catch on the follow-up delivery, and then what run out happened. So we won, but still, Mitchell Starc cannot be hidden under the fact that he was. He underperformed.
Is it time now as KKR fans? Are you looking to now drop him?
Yes,
I think it's time. It's half a season is over. We have 5 victories out of 7. But that does not change the fact that Starc has been expensive, very expensive. Not just about the price tag, but now it's time. But a bowler like a Starc caliber, with 8 wickets down, the opposition cannot, with all due respect to Karan Sharma and whatever batting abilities he had, you cannot go for 3 sixes.
Absolutely not.
The match was done if not for that catch or a run out.
Yeah.
Okay, now to the 2 questions, to the 2 neutrals that I have. We won't have too much time on the show because one game's already started, so we'll try and wrap up quickly because I'm sure all of you want to watch that. But since there are plenty of talking points, we'll try and touch upon them. Maybe not all of us can comment. But since they've commented on KKR, maybe the neutrals, that is the three of us, can look at two things. The first thing, which I found really strange, and I'd love your thoughts on that, is, and I'm not saying it in hindsight, even those thoughts came at that time. You are Dinesh Karthik, I agree, you've been in good form this season and you are expected to win, and I agree, between a Dinesh Karthik and a Karan Sharma, I'm picking Dinesh Karthik as the better finisher, no doubt. But you denying singles to Karan Sharma as if he is a Mohammad Siraj or a Lockie Ferguson just didn't make sense. I would even go so far as to say, benefit of the doubt, okay, you tried to hit the first ball, doesn't connect, and you want to take another shot at it second time. But if it doesn't connect the second time and you're getting a single, you take the single. If I'm not mistaken, there were 4 chances that Dinesh Karthik had in that over to take a single, 4, and he refused all 4. I'm sorry, but Karan Sharma is a veteran of IPL.
Yeah.
If you remember Karan Sharma over the years, I remember for Sunrisers Hyderabad a couple of situations where he absolutely won the match with the bat. I remember speaking to VVS Lakshman once, who was part of the Sunrisers setup, and he had come and told me that they, within their team, see Karan Sharma as a proper all-rounder. Not a bowling all-rounder, but the capabilities he has with the bat, see him as a proper all-rounder. Only reason why he was batting at 7, 8 or 9 sometime for that team is because they had plenty of batters. In case they did not, they would have probably used him like a Jadeja, batting him at 6 and 7. I clearly remember this conversation about 6-7 years ago. My point is, you are playing the IPL with this common knowledge that we can have following the IPL, that former coaches has, everyone has. I am shocked that nobody in RCB, and RCB has done plenty of blunders in this season. That's why I'm pointing to this blunder. I'm shocked that nobody had this conversation. Nobody sent a message out. Nobody even told Dinesh Karthik that allow a Karan Sharma a chance. Yes, you've had a go. You've had 2 goes. Allow him. What you did was a mountain to climb. Had you given Karan Sharma a couple of balls earlier, maybe you were chasing, instead of 21, you were chasing 15, you would have done it. But you didn't do it. Anyway, thoughts? Did you find that strange at the time?
I would say this was Royal Challengers Blunderluru. Because
It's a new one.
Royal Challengers Blunderluru. I mean, look at it. Who in the right mind in the
You're
chase?
not the right person to ask this question.
No,
Even
I'm
if they-
saying-
even if you thought they were done the right thing.
I
Karan
will prove
Sharma,
you're a hater.
Karan Sharma with a 125 strike rate with over 1,000 runs has shown.
No, 1497 prior to this game. So nearly 1500 runs in his
1500
T20
runs.
career.
Okay.
It's not like he can't get you runs.
Now, you needed 21 runs of the final over, okay? Had he taken those 3 singles, 18 of 6, 3 sixes, you would have been celebrating. And what was the major point is, why was DK wanting to do all the hard work? Where did the judgment go in that case? Because one single, who knows, if Karan Sharma would have gotten an edge, could have gone to the short third man or a fine leg boundary, he would have gone to 4. Why can't you take basic aspects of cricket seriously, like taking a single? When a run is on offer, take it. DK wanted all the glory, went for a 6, and the kind of shot also, I am sorry. You had the last ball, you wanted to be on strike. Okay, Shreyas Iyer tempted him. Okay, I'm bringing fine leg. Okay, I'm bringing the field in. Himmat hai, to try going over the top. I'll check your thing. Whether you are calculating, whether you are aware of the game. He went for a scoop. I'm sorry for that kind of a situation when you had to ensure that you are the guy winning it for your team. You had to take a single. A single was a need of the hour. 20 of 6. A DK could have done it for you. But then he chose the wrong shot. He denied the singles. And I'm sorry, this is where judgment takes a backseat. And RCB lost by 1 run. You were ahead of the game after the onslaught by Will Jacks and by Rajat Patidar. And you squandered it. Spectacular.
Yeah, RCB will feel that they're guilty of botching up this chase over here. They really had it by really had the game by the scruff of its neck, I would say, and they really should have gone ahead after a point when the asking run rate had come down below 10, and that had largely been, in fact, after the halfway stage. They were 116, I think, in 10 overs. So you're looking at less than 10 after that. But
less than 10 was with just 6 overs to go.
Towards
10 overs, I'll still say tougher task.
but they were
to go less than
11
55 were
and
needed.
I am talking about the time that they had 8 wickets in hand then.
They were all
So
there.
yes, exactly. But
is that?
I think 2 on 2 counts I will hold Dinesh Karthik guilty. One, I think there's nothing wrong in him backing himself after getting an 80 odd the other day. You're the man in form. You're arguably you're in fact the third best batter of the side right now. So no harm in terms of backing yourself.
Best, give me the.
Virat and Faf.
Faf has
Faf
been
is
terrible
better.
this
Yes, he's
year. No, I'd say
somehow
Will Jacks is the second best.
somehow the overall runs.
Patidar has been a better batter.
But overall, I agree. Patidar is not
saying
playing overall.
historically.
Yeah. Just these 7 matches now.
7 matches.
Yeah. He's
No,
the third best batter.
No.
I'd say
Yeah,
he's the
yeah.
second best
He's
batter.
good. I think.
DK.
No.
Faf
He'll be ahead
and
of
Virat.
He'll be much ahead of him.
Faf and
Faf is
Virat.
third.
I think I was looking at the stats.
No, yeah. Faf is no.
We'll have to check. Anyhow, he's
Virat
one of
and
the better
DK, that's
batters.
I'm telling you.
He's one of the better batters that they have right now. So, and also after that 80 odd that he scored the other day, nothing wrong in terms of backing yourself. Point number 1. But again, twice you denied singles. Okay, I agree that you take the responsibility upon yourself given your form. But the third time, then you shouldn't have. When you weren't able to get those big boundaries, then you should have recalibrated and at least gone for that single. The other time, though, as Siddharth mentions, you had already gotten the boundary of the second last ball. You were then looking at just a single so that you retain the strike. You get tempted and you go for a shot that wasn't required then. So that's again another mistake that DK makes on the day for me.
2 mistakes. One was that 25. So they needed 25 of 8. So fine, 25 of 8 went for a boundary. I'm thinking, great, this means he's got the boundary. The next logical thing he has to do is take a single and ensure that he's on strike. 20 of the last over for DK is no problem. The other thing, and now in hindsight, this is proven to be a good decision from KKR that they saved 1 over Varun Chakravarti for the death. Why? Because DK's perennial weakness has been how he tackles spinners. He really tends to struggle. He's a great player of pace, and no coincidence, the one boundary that Chakravarti conceded in that last over of his was a half tracker pace up. That was it. Otherwise, he was bowling full, tempting him.
And it was not DK who hit it, it was Suyash Prabhu
Suyash
Desai.
Prabhu Desai.
Okay, to the final point of debate, Virat Kohli's dismissal. Everyone has no more than 2 minutes to come up with their. We'll go this way.
Okay. So I had done a video, you can check it out.
No, forget now. You tell us.
See, the technology is there, okay? The measurements were made, and according, if you want to trust technology, the ball was dipping on Virat, okay? It was a low dipping, high full toss. The way how he played at it, you felt, oh, it was too high. But then it was dipping. And it showed technology that there was a 0.12 difference, 0.12.
0.23.
0.23, okay? 0.23 difference. So, technology backed up the umpire's thing, he checked for it. I think that should be the end of the story. It should be the end of the story, but I know that certain aspects of technology will be picked on. Oh, how could it judge? It was dipping, the curve is very dodgy, all these measurements are dodgy. We know the fan bases how they will work here. In the case of Virat, it will be like manipulated, abuses will be heard. But technology proved the umpire right. It was dipping, the kind of shot he made, it gave you an illusion that was too high. Technology proved the umpire right. End of story. Kohli had no right to have that.
Before I answer that, yes, Faf du Plessis is the second highest run scorer. Prior to this match, he now has only 12 runs short of DK. DK is now moved to second. So coming to the match, DK was the third highest run scorer.
No, but I'm not. Actually, I will put DK 1. I'll tell you why. Even ahead of Virat.
Impact.
Yeah.
I was just talking.
Total numbers.
Total. I'm just talking about.
Strike rate, I think he'll be number 1.
Of course. No doubt. But anyway, coming back to Virat's dismissal, I don't think the rules in place now. Now there's a clear graphic that gets put out. Everyone's height's been measured. The stakeholders have the data, relevant data that is needed in certain situations. Grey areas, as one of the former RCB player has called it. But I think it's very clear. You don't need to fight about it. There need not be any row or discussion about it. The rules are in place. It's applied. It's been in application this whole IPL now. Not the first time that a batter was adjudged given that particular metric. It says it's out and it is out. Simple as that.
Okay. I firstly find it very strange that people are even blaming the umpires. I'll tell you why. Because it's not the umpire's decision.
Correct.
Firstly, the umpires haven't made the decision. It's the technology that's made a decision. You can have a debate about technology, which is a different debate, which is a similar debate we have with DRS. That, this ball pitched there and it was deviating a bit more. I don't think they were missing. It should have been hitting. And technology is a problem that has increased the deviation. It's that debate. So your debate is whether it was dipping, not dipping, whatever. Then that debate is the technology debate. You get into that. That technology is not showing it right. How can it be dipping so much? How can it be going down? The fact is the umpire just looked. The technology was showing that it's below the waistline with that dip in his regular position. So they took the call. So umpires didn't decide whether on field, whether third umpire. So no point blaming the umpires. That's first of all, and no point even arguing with the umpire on the field because they haven't made the decision. Technology has. They've just relayed the decision looking at the technology. That's the first thing. Secondly, I think what we've seen this year is that for wide that they have started looking at position. If you move, they are giving that much leeway. Then I think similar for where you are standing. I think a similar thing happened with Andre Russell in the match. But when you saw Andre Russell, he was deep inside his crease. So that's a different thing. If you're standing forward, no problem. That's a risk that you're taking. But eventually the umpire has to judge in your regular standing position near the popping crease and then where you stand, how and where it would have gone. According to that, the technology said it wasn't a no ball, not the umpires. And so they simply followed what the technology said. End of matter. That had no bearing on the result or not. Various other reasons which we've already alluded to, which resulted in KKR winning, good decisions by them, poor decisions by RCB for not winning, but that wasn't one reason why they won or lost.
For me, the first and most important thing is it was Virat's reaction. There is no debate. It's technology, equal for all. About irrespective, it's a wide, it's a dismissal or whatever. But the way you reacted, you walked up. Even the umpires on the field didn't give them out. He didn't give him out. They referred to third umpire. Technology gave him out. He walked away. Then he came back arguing again. When you are certain Virat Kohli
and smashed the dustbin as well.
Yeah, I have a meeting, so I'm going. But you guys can carry on and maybe discuss few other things.
Absolutely. Take a few comments as well.
Please take comments, more discussion.
When you are a certain Virat Kohli, you should have done that. You shouldn't have done that. You know how many people watches you. You have a responsibility. You cannot set in bad example in arguing with the on-field umpire and then with the fourth umpire, third umpire that was standing, the fourth umpire that was standing there, fourth umpire standing on the boundary ropes. I have checked the social media, the minute he got dismissed, within a few minutes I've seen a trend. I have seen some former cricketers also sharing their opinion on this. But sorry boss, you are a Virat Kohli, that's why all this debate is happening. Correct. You cannot be bigger than the game. I have said it many times before, it's not only about Virat Kohli. The only debate is because there is a Virat Kohli.
Yes.
If that would have been an Andre Russell, he would have been given out on that delivery. We wouldn't have been
discussing it so much.
Any debate. But now people are giving. I have read a few people are no. It was a no ball. The match is fixed. Technology to be blamed. Kolkata home advantage. Umpires are very easy to blame.
It's very lame to say that the tournament is rigged and all. You can't be making those sweeping remarks.
You need lose
proof.
credibility.
Exactly. And everything you're okay with. Yes, he's a superstar of the game. Yes, you don't like seeing him get out in that manner. And sure enough, the result of the match could have been different had he stayed at the crease for long. Or had that been given a no ball, the match headed into a super over without, Virat assuming he doesn't score any more runs after that. So, but those are all ifs and buts and possibilities.
Also, my point is that was not a shady dismissal. That was clear. You have seen in the big, you yourself.
Shady, right? I heard something else.
No, shady dismissal. Because you yourself have seen on the big screen. The ball was dipping. It was not unlike it was a clean catch in the deep or not. We are checking, so just like a Phil Salt. The catch was not clean. You have yourself, but you're still reacting like that. You have been given out without any reason and everything. That has encouraged your fans or the people on social media to blame the game and umpire. You, boss, you have a big responsibility of image of the game. It depends on you. Not only your wicket would have mattered or whatever.
You've reached the halfway stage of the IPL by now. You would have seen so many other batters being judged out, given the same metric, given the same process. So I really don't think it sort of demanded the kind of reaction that you saw.
Anyway,
when you go once, not twice, but thrice.
So when you go last, obviously these guys already said what is had to be said. But I'll just say two things. One, I read a social media comment, or three things related to touch upon. One was a social media comment from one of clear Virat Kohli fan who said that Kohli is the brand ambassador of dodgy dismissals. To which I say no. Kohli is the brand ambassador of childish behavior when things don't go his way. I understand fierce competitor among him, but the way he went after the umpires there is not on. You have a debatable decision, which, by the way, in my case, if you ask me, was not debatable because technology doesn't discriminate. It does not lie. The measurements are very simple. Every player is measured till their waist, and basis that the no ball call
Which
is
is
taken.
1.02 meters in Virat Kohli's case.
Yeah, it's as close to being as fair as possible because otherwise there's so many variables. Was the player crouching? How deep was he in the crease? There was no variable here. Simple. Height measurement was this much. Basis point of impact, it would have been like this. So it's a fair delivery. That he seems to be taking after his footballing idol Cristiano Ronaldo a little too much. Because remember, recently we saw an incident where Ronaldo almost went and punched a referee. Yeah. He was this close to probably bashing one of the umpires in with a bat. And sorry, I saw AB de Villiers, was it, who said that whole grey area thing? Listen, AB, loved you as a player, but if it comes to decisions, the less grey areas there are, the better. Rules need to be black and white. So and so happens, it's out. So and so happens, it's not out. No. Do not involve grey.
But correct me if I'm wrong, the suggestion that he's making about drawing lines and all, that's exactly being done, right?
Yeah. That is being done.
Exactly. So what's the grey area then?
Yeah, and
my question was, what's the grey? In fact, let's just put out the AB de Villiers tweet for you guys since we're talking about it, and before we end this stream. So that we're all on the same page. We'll show you what is it that he
had said, because again I didn't really agree with what it is he said, and anyway we'll just check in and see exactly what it is he said. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Go down. Let's see.
This one, grey areas.
Forgot.
The one below this. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, so forgot to clarify this.
Yeah, this one.
It's got nothing to do with bad umpiring, rather common sense to use technology in a game already improved. Like the offside rule in football, draw the line and simplify the decision for wides. Grey areas in the game open up room, but that's what they do. For the wides also, there is a line drawn.
Yeah.
There is a literal line drawn on the pitch. So what grey areas? They're not calling the wides of vibes.
You know, former cricketers and a legend like AB de Villiers taking the opportunity to defend something which is not defendable. Just because it was Virat Kohli, he's still trending, by the way. Just because of the dismissal, not required.
See, this is the problem. You know, since it's Virat, and clearly you look at it. I mean, if you have a holistic view, 360-degree view,
funny.
The ball was dipping.
Funny you mentioned 360.
Also, why do you need lines being drawn here? I don't get it. The trajectory of the ball can clearly be seen. You know, the height of the player. There isn't a need to be, like we are drawing lines over here.
And it is not as if it was a bounce. A bounce, okay, it can be dodgy or something, but this was a clear parabola kind of a thing. It was dipping.
I'm telling you, because of these suggestions, like I said the other day, right now to the naked eye, you're making a call as far as the wides are concerned, because now teams are reviewing wides as well. You know, what part of the ball is inside. I'm telling you guys, there will be a day, given the rate at which we are moving, there will be perpendicular lines which will start to get drawn, and then the other debate will be to what percentage of the ball should be inside.
And let us make it very clear, Kohli didn't review it, the umpires reviewed it.
Yeah.
Just for safety.
Yeah.
Because RCB didn't lose the review. They had
Just
2 reviews.
Imagine if the umpires had given Virat Kohli out.
So they did give it out.
No.
They haven't
The
signaled.
third umpire after
If
confirmation.
the on-field umpire had given it out to begin
He wasn't
with.
given out.
That's what I'm saying. Just imagine the furore then.
But again, see, the kind of behavior that he exhibited after that, I'm sorry.
Shambolic.
Some decisions, I remember the Melbourne death stare he gave. Now that decision went in his favor. Now we are not talking about it much. But now when the shoe is on the other foot, now suddenly the technology is bad, this is bad and that is bad. That was given on a death stare vibe. This is technology has given you that justification.
You literally asked the leg side umpire to give it a no ball.
Yeah.
Listen,
that is the problem.
Throw the book at Kohli for the way he behaved. We've talked about fines and all being meted out. Tim David and Karen Pollard would justify fined their match fee, 20% of it for what happened. I say fine him 50% of his match fee to ensure that such nonsense doesn't happen.
Actually, the decision to only fine Karen Pollard and Tim David is not setting the right precedent.
Yeah,
they should have been banned.
True.
Because it was blatant cheating.
Yeah, you knew what you were doing.
Absolutely. Okay, in that case, many Indian fans say, oh, but then the Virat Kohli demand that Steve Smith should have been banned or something for the Bangalore fiasco, they were right. Now, in this case, Mumbai Indians just get a 20% match fee.
For only those two, by the way, one of whom is a coach.
Are you kidding me? I mean, they should have been banned. It was blatant cheating. And here, no one is going to give the code of conduct breach to Virat Kohli because everybody will say, oh, happened in the heat of the moment.
Poor
Heat of the moment. And this is where you draw the line. That's
Anyhow, so the fact is, at the end of the day, I think RCB, I think it's fair to say, and we can just take one or two words on this from everyone before we go to the comments. I think it's fair to say that RCB have no one to blame but themselves.
RCB choked.
True.
Choked. I mean, you threw away 4 wickets in 2 overs when you were needing less than 10. Okay, and DK denying 2 singles and attempting a horrendous shot in the last ball when you just needed to play what? The most difficult thing in the world, common sense cricket. And I'm sorry, DK might have been living off Nidahas glory, but here it was an anti-Nidahas kind of a thing.
Shubham Garg points out that Narayan no ball of Lomuro dismissal not given. My friend, that was because it was checked and deemed not a no ball. That's why it wasn't given.
Now, see, because again, I understand where Shubham
He's
is
talking
coming from.
about foot over.
There are a lot of videos which says that the foot was not grounded behind the line.
But then that happens with a lot of spinners.
Yeah.
It happens with Jadeja so often.
It used to happen with a Bhaji. Jadeja is a very classic example. And right now the rule is very simple. The moment the foot gets planted, that's where you see what part of the foot is behind or not. You're not waiting for the entire foot to come down.
Yeah.
Same with the Virat Kohli's dismissal on social media. You have taken a frame before when
It's
the ball was not
always
dipping. So
one
people are
frame.
saying no, it's a no ball. Take 2 more frames ahead and ball was dipping.
Yeah.
One frame and 2 frames, that's why stills are not that reliable.
And I'm again telling you, the way how he played it, he was surprised. Okay, instinct. But it felt as though it's high.
Yeah, but it
But
wasn't.
it wasn't.
Rakesh Bhushan says experience matters. Rajat trying to hit all the balls out of the park. Had he taken the game deep, I'm sure RCB would have been home in 19 overs. This is why he needs to watch MSD. He was playing as if there's no tomorrow. You know what? I actually do kind of agree with him because what was the thing that really stymied the momentum for RCB? The minute they lost Jackson Patidar, because Green didn't really get going. Lomror also didn't get going. Then after that, Prabhu Desai also was looking very scratchy. DK looked very scratchy against the spinners. Actually, were it not for that blitz from Karan Sharma in the last over, this game actually KKR could have won at a much better margin. Because you needed 21 runs off the last over.
Yeah. Exactly.
So actually, they needed to bat sensibly, and that's what I said. Hubris. That, oh, we're hitting everything. Let us all keep hitting everything. Why? You were behind the asking rate.
I understand, Rajat Patidar and Will Jacks going up
Fair,
because
but the others, no.
that's the gear in which they were operating. So they were living by the sword and they were willing to pay the price
Because they
for
were
it.
living very well.
Exactly, and that's fine. It's what put RCB in a position where at one point they were looking ahead of the curve.
Correct.
But you had to realize as RCB that okay, now those 2 batters who had given them that platform are now back in the heart. The other 2 who are now incumbent of this chase, let's say, it is now responsibility for them to ensure that the team is in a position in which it, so that it remains in the position that it is. Not go for those reckless shots, especially I would say Cameron Green. Now he's been in and around for quite some time. You have that 1-6. There is a single, there's already 7 runs on the board in that over. You need not have gone for another big hit.
And I'll tell you 2 instances, okay? You're walking on a tightrope, okay? You have to bat. The most difficult thing in cricket is to bat responsibly, okay? You remember that scene in Ishq, Ram, and then when he loses balance, it changes to a very dark meaning. Here, Cameron Green hit a 6, okay, Will Jacks got out. What does common sense tell you? Okay, I am now set, let me play sensibly and allow to settle in, and then I can go for it. No, 2 balls later, I have to go for a big hit.
When you didn't need to go for big hits.
need to.
Anyway, there's one more comment from Shanu Kamal. Just scroll down slightly. 3 haters crying, starts Shanu Kamal, the poet. The really hard opening line. But Eden is chanting just for their hero VK. He goes there to best IE and not to try to look like someone. Flawed technology, encouraged beamers, that is worst ball. Oh, Shanu,
Come on, my
comment
friend.
of the day.
Come
I
on,
love
my
it.
friend, come on.
Delusional.
Ooh, let me drink those tears. Please let me drink those tears. I love it. So much saltiness.
I know, it's delusional and there's nothing called
Delulu
as-
is not the Salulu, Shanu Kamal.
Yeah, there's 3 haters crying, no way. It's not, we are calling it as it is.
Yeah.
You don't
we
like
proved
it.
that we're all haters.
Yeah. You don't like it, you don't like it. And I'll quote Virat's thing, if you give it back, you got to learn how to take it.
And any more comments?
Yeah, please go for that.
Please go for some regular ones.
Yep.
Let's see. GGK says the issue is that we don't punish superstars for bad mouthing umpires. Virat should be banned for a game. Set an example.
Oh, GGK, you've given the most difficult thing. You should. A peace negotiator
Yeah,
is far easier
this
than
is
asking.
Totally agree.
But this is far-fetched. I'll tell you why this is
it's never gonna happen.
It's not going to happen. Yes, so much needs to be done to put things in order in our game. In football, you see when there's a lot of bad mouthing that comes from the coaching camp. Let's say you're given a red card and you don't see the manager then for the next game. Simple as that. In cricket, though, that's far-fetched. And the other thing, let's go back and see. This is not the only area. For slow over rates, which have now become the bane of this IPL, by the way.
This game only.
This game, for example, now, what does the rule book say? The rule book says, okay, first time 12 lakh fine to the captain. Second time 12 lakh fine plus 6. Then other players also have to pay. The third time it happens.
24.
The third time it happens, it's a bigger fine, and
Captain
then there is
gets
a 1 match suspension
Have
for
we
the
seen
captain. How many times have
Never.
you will see players in and around that territory where there will be multiple times, but which player, name me one player that's been given a ban till, or
Everyone.
you even see a scenario wherein that ban will be given.
And today's match, by the way, lasted more than 7 hours.
4
hours. Sorry, 3:30 is 7:30. It kind of my mind is a little scrambled, guys.
4
Apologies.
hours and 10 minutes. Are you playing a mini ODI? Look at it, horrendous over rate. And okay, it's not helped by the fact that every dodgy decision you want to review, every wide you want to review, every no ball you want to review, every 2. Then why keep 2 DRS?
Yeah,
keep
you
only
got
1?
5 minutes of breaks in those timeouts anyway, 2.5. Then of course, and now there's the game's changed so much. Now you've got concussion checks no matter what happens, which is good. Certain things are good, but again, these mindless reviews at times, and then yes, teams, you want to empower the teams and entitle the teams to be able to, challenge decisions so that, the game is played by the book, and then, there is no erroneous decisions that take place. But then umpires at times, or the technology at hand, if it takes 5 minutes to review a no ball or a leg before, sorry boss,
And
the whole idea of, of shrinking the game, reducing the game time, making it,
and the
snappy,
problem
it's
is,
not going to happen.
to review a wide, they have to first look at, how the posture is, erect posture, go back a frame, how is he in normal posture and all that. It takes time. That's the problem. It takes additional time.
This smart decision replay system that was put in place was supposed to speed up the process. I think it's made it slower.
It has.
I genuinely think it's made it slower.
Of course, we start at 7. We finish things at 7:30 over here.
No, later than that.
We are not.
You
We're
got
not.
2 hours left.
We are
By
not.
the time
We
broadcast
aren't
will-
back by 9:20, 9:25 these days. So it's roughly taking 2 hours for an innings to take place. 85-90 minutes is the stipulated time when this format was conceived.
You were getting 90 minutes. Then by the time 90 minutes in the innings is done, you need to be starting your 20th over.
Yes.
That is the time limit. Today, RCB were at least 3 overs behind the asking rate. 3 overs. I'm sorry, this needs to go away.
It just needs to go away.
We'll just take one final comment, and yes, there's another game happening. 67 for 2, by the way, as far as
In the 8th
PBKS are concerned, the home side on the day.
Yep. So, I mean,
Abhishek Singh is saying, I think Virat makes it a scene so that its critics would be busy in discussing the controversial decision rather than how he played actually. Such a ploy by him for years now.
See, he played well actually. The bit he was there,
Yeah,
he was punking mid-start for 6s.
no look 6.
Huh?
That was the peak of Virat's prowess. And see, now the way how he got out, now he will hide behind that. What to do? Oh, that is the legitimate. I got surprised. I thought it was waste. He'll never admit it. But technology suggests otherwise.
Nobody would admit it.
No one will ever admit.
In fact, as Saurav Sen points out, he's saying that Russell, on the other hand, was not given out by the main umpire before even reviewing. He was given out by the main umpire for what looked like a clear no ball. He's fending it off here while standing erect, and the umpire's like, I'm like, what? So actually, standards of umpiring have gone worse.
Yeah.
Your smart decision replay is not very smart.
No.
It's slowed. It's actually slow decision replay. You've got problems.
You've got
Anyway,
big
we'll
problems.
take your leave because we'd be joining you again in the middle of the innings of this match.
PBKS versus
PBKS
GT
versus
match.
GT at Mullapur, and it's 6, and I think they may be 3 down.
May very well be.
Yeah, they've just reviewed a decision.
Noor
Anyhow,
Ahmed and Rashid, the spin twins
we
are doing
shall be back around 9:15, 9:20, given
their over rate is
given
good.
the sweet time that this innings is also going to take.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So see you guys from me, Harshit, Saransh, and Shane. It's bye bye. Rashid Khan gets a wicket of Sam Curran. Bye bye.